Today we are going to be training back at the gym. Look forward to it. It's going to be a 6 session today. Just going to be working the lats, the traps and the rear delts. I was doing deadlifts yesterday in my leg day, so that's why I'm not training lower back, and I'm going to see how my upper back feels, because when you lift the weights up you are using quite a lot of back, so my traps are a little bit stiff as well, so we'll see how that goes. But maybe just try and go lat focused on all the rows, just keeping it nice and low, nice and tucked in, and then maybe some upright shrugs, but just nothing too much on the middle trap, because otherwise if you train while it's still sore, you're interfering with that healing process, because when the muscles start to repair, the muscle fibers start to connect back together, and if you go and train it while your muscles are still sore, you're basically just getting rid of all that building back up process, so you're not going to make any gains from that. So just be mindful of that when you're training, which is why it's important to build in rest days if you need. If you can make your gym schedule structured enough, you can get it to the point where you can then sort of just train back to back to back, and have, like, I train 6 days a week and I have 1 rest day normally. But like I say, if my upper back was really killing me, and I was feeling my lats as well today, then I probably would have given it a rest day, just because there's no logical way of training back, because it's not going to help the gains at all. So it's just about making the judgment, what's right, what's wrong, and just when to train. So we're going to be doing predominantly rear delt and lat workout, I would say, today. In terms of what we're going to be doing, lots of lat pull down and some forms of rows as well. What the rows do is they help thicken your back, so when you're training, the rows sort of help make this bit thicker, so it makes this bit wider, whereas when you train your lat pull down, means when you do like a lat spread, it means this bit here pokes out more, it gives you more wing. Essentially that's what we're going to be doing today, just trying to grow that really wide back. Without further ado, let's get into the workout. Okay, so what I'm doing here is a lat pull down. I'm basically trying to, or what I like to do here is pull down the weight really slowly and really squeeze, and then I release it really slowly, and what that does is it just keeps the lats under maximum tension, which is really important, especially when you're trying to go for muscle growth rather than strength. If you are trying to go for strength, then it's more about reducing that time under tension, not to the point where you're just chucking the weight around, but if you're not under that same tension for as long a time, that will mean that you don't get as much muscle growth. You will still get some, but you won't get as much, and you will gain more strength, so you'll be able to lift more. Personally, I'm much more focused on the muscle growth. I think strength is just a thing that comes with it, which is great. Everyone wants to be strong, but for me, I'd much rather optimise the whole muscle growth thing, because that's what I'm trying to be a bodybuilder, so it's trying to just optimise the bodybuilding training rather than the strength training. Okay, here we're doing a row. This is, like I said earlier, just for getting that thickness in your back. And we're just leaning forward, trying to get a nice stretch on the lats, and then pulling back, trying to keep very straight with your line of your back. Next, we're doing a rear delt fly. We've done this before. Really good exercise, just for getting that stretch on the rear delts. Change your traps as well, but mainly focuses on your rear delts. Overall great exercise. Definitely one of the best out of there, because you can just drop set it quite easily, easy to set up, and so you're just basically trying to come forwards, and then you can just pull it out. You see a lot of people, they change their grips on the machine, but I normally just do the standard grip, but you'll see a lot of people try and rotate their wrists, so they're not actually holding the designated handle, they'll just hold the actual machine, and I have tried that, but it does put quite a lot of strain on your wrists, so I would recommend personally just holding the handles. Like I said, that just grow your shoulder, give you some nice aesthetics on the shoulder, and it's a very widely disregarded muscle, so if you're not training your rear delts, I'd definitely start training them right now. Next we're doing lat pullovers. These just get a really nice stretch on the lats. You're basically bending in the knees a bit, and then you do need to step out quite a bit for this one, and then you basically hold the weight. You can either use like a rope or this other attachment which I'm using here, but you basically hold the attachment, and then you have your arms relatively straight, as you can see, and then you pull down, keeping your arms straight, and you just try and pull with your lats. You will feel this in your arms a bit, like you feel it a lot in your tricep, but yeah, try and keep it as lat focused as you can. Squeeze at the bottom, release it slowly as usual. Next we're doing just a standard standing shrug, nothing you haven't seen before, I'd imagine. When I was a younger kid trying to train, I always used to struggle with my traps, and I found that the key bit that you need to work on, because I would just basically just shrug my shoulders and not really think about the muscle and training. What you've got to do is you've got to lean forwards, and you've got to pull your shoulders back, have your dumbbells by your side, and you want to squeeze up behind your neck, so you're leaning forwards a bit, and then you lift your shoulders straight up to the ceiling, squeezing them together, squeezing back. And ultimately, if you can feel the muscle activating and you're lifting weights, when you get to that failure point, you will really start to feel the burn. But be very careful, because I did a variant of a trap exercise with the shrug, and what I did is I pushed my shoulders forwards and I shrugged straight up, and what that did is it actually caused my trap to essentially coil up, so all the muscle just coiled up, and that just caused a lot of strain on the trap, and I was out of training for probably 2 months, and had to go and see a physio who just massaged it. But what I would have done differently is there's a lot of rehab stuff you can do. So there's cold baths you can take, so I take ice baths every morning, most mornings, probably 4 or 5 times a week, and it's really good. It just basically stops the blood flow to the muscle, and then once you get in the hot shower, it will then heat heat your muscles up, which allows then the blood flow to flow back through. It's very intense and not a fun process, but it's very good. It's also very good for your tendons, just allows them to cool, and if you get inflamed tendons, very good to allow it to just cool down. The only issue is if you go in the ice bath straight after a workout, it can have an effect on protein synthesis. If you do that ice bath and it slows down protein synthesis, then it's going to have an impact on how much muscle growth you can get. So definitely, what I do is I go in the mornings, as unpleasant as it is. I go in the mornings, I train in the evenings, so there's a nice 9-hour gap. So they recommend about a 6 to 8 hour gap. So I've gone for like a 9-10 hour gap between, just to be safe, because I don't want to be losing any muscle. So bearing that in mind, if you're training, just find out when is best for you, considering when you're training. Like if you're training sort of like lunchtime, then maybe go in either late evening or in the morning as well. And it's got other health benefits which I won't bore you with too much, but it's just got like the mental things, like it releases hormones which wake you up in the morning. It's as effective as a cup of coffee, and you've also got some white fat which is stored under your abdominals, and it basically turns it into brown fat, which is just like the natural fat in your stomach, and the white fat's quite dangerous, so it turning it into brown fat is just allowing that bit there to get rid of that fat. So it does help with fat loss, because what happens is your body tries to then reheat itself after you've had a cold or an ice bath, which then burns quite a lot of calories in the whole heating up process. I tend to go straight in the hot shower afterwards, just because that gets that blood flow back in quite quickly. Yeah, that's enough about ice baths. Another form of recovery is as well cupping. That just allows I'll show you actually. So essentially, what cupping does, here's a cup bed. This is just a silicone cup. A lot of them have like an actual suction gun which sucks the air and creates an anti. This is just a suction one, I guess. You just push it down and you place it on the skin, which hopefully won't bruise too much. And what it does essentially